What's your next prediction here on today's episode, though?
One of the guys on this, one of the teams on this tiers that I've had to downgrade, unfortunately, is the Golden State Warriors. And I think this summer they're going to be trading for LeBron James.
Wow.
That's my prediction.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
It feels,
boy is right.
It feels like something that needs to happen because of their success playing together, Team USA, Olympics, these OGs getting back together. Maybe go for KD too, somehow.
I have both KD and LeBron being traded this summer.
Mm-hmm.
Both of those situations just seem ripe for some kind of last hurrah. It's not banana boat style. Maybe Chris Paul gets into the mix, but we already saw what he did with Golden State already. Another reunion in Golden State.
Oh,
but I think if they don't find their big fish, the Golden State Warriors here at the trade deadline, if Mike Dunleavy Jr. doesn't figure it out of how they're going to package Kuminga and picks and Moses Moody in some sort of derivation of that, maybe you go to Steph and say, like, look, we weren't able to build you a title contender at this point, but we're going to go after LeBron, and we understand that you guys want to play together one last time. We're going to go and get you LeBron. It's going to be Draymond, LeBron, Steph, and it'll be really good entertainment. It's just whether that's going to be enough to give Steph what he wants, which is competing at the highest level, winning a championship. But just short of that, they might not find that deal. And we always do this with star players and their organizations, is like, they didn't trade for that big fish. They didn't trade that guy. They didn't build a title contender in this guy's prime. How dare they? Sometimes the deal isn't there. Sometimes the team is waiting, like, we have the picks, we have the artillery to make a deal, but then we have nothing, no star player to take those assets and go get that star player. And so maybe Steph Curry, the front office just comes to him and say, we'll get you LeBron, and we'll do a little Paris Olympics, kind of this last hurrah with you and LeBron. And I feel like LeBron got his choice with, Bronny coming to the Lakers and cross that bucket list item off his list. The next one might be playing with Steph and finishing it out with Steph. They've been kind of like flirting with this idea for years. Now you see it in Paris. Maybe this summer is really when it gets done. I think LeBron going to the Warriors, it happens by the end of their careers.
Is there a possibility that it's the other way around? That it's Steph ending up in LA? Because the Lakers, they also have Anthony Davis. They have Austin Reeves. They just got Dorian Finney-Smith. They have a pretty good supporting cast. The Warriors feel like a bit more of a depleted team, especially like if some of their young guys walk. Kuminga goes. Maybe Moody doesn't develop anymore. Like, they have these guys who are going to be in and out of the organization. Wiggins isn't there for long. He's solid. Schroeder's not going to be there for long. Maybe it's the other way around, that Steph ends up in LA. I could see that as well. But for what it's worth, just to be clear for the listeners, before the deadline this year, LeBron is eligible to be traded. Stephen Curry is not eligible to be traded. So Steph can't end up in LA before the end of the season. Either way, the Lakers aren't going to be trading LeBron this year either. So this isn't something that would happen until the summer. To your point, Tom, you said LeBron ends up in Golden State in the summer of 25. Steph cannot end up in LA or anywhere else until the summer of 25 either. Just making that clear for the listeners.
Okay. I'm just going to kind of connect some of these dots too. Where did Bryce commit this week?
Arizona.
Okay. Where did Steve?
Nobody's going to the Suns.
Where did Steve Kerr go to college?
Arizona.
Who's the closest?
Arizona.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Okay. I'm just throwing that out there.
This is not basketball Illuminati, Tom.
Oh, wait. I don't know. My third eye is creeping open here. All right. No, I think it's much more likely that Steph brings LeBron to Golden State than Steph going.
Because he's a lifer there. That's why.
Exactly.
Yeah.
100%. And LeBron has his brand that he's built up is, I'm going to find the situation that I want to be in and I will make it happen. And if he wants to go play with Steph, he probably recognizes it's going to take moving mountains for Steph to agree to leave the franchise and join him in Lakerland. And I think both situations have kind of run its course. I think both situations are ready for a shakeup. And we've seen with the Golden State Warriors, they are open to this kind of like second generation thing where they have Gary Payton II, they have Trace Jackson Davis, they have Andrew Wiggins, they had Klay Thompson, Steph Curry, second generation guy. I don't think they'd be opposed to bringing both Bronny and LeBron there. And then in 2026, bring Bryson as a two-way. He's not an NBA player now, not a prospect in the least bit, but that didn't stop Rich Paul organizing with the Lakers to make sure that Bronny got a guaranteed contract and drafted on draft night. Who's to say that we're not going to see LeBron, Bronny, and Bryce in 2026-27 season with the Warriors? And by the way, Steph is under contract through 2026-27 season. I'm saying keep your third eye open.
Jeez. Here's the thing. Here's the thing, Tom. Let's say that opportunity is there for the Warriors this summer. Is that really the best thing to do? Is that really the best path to take? Like, is that actually going to make you a contender with LeBron at 41 and Steph Curry then at 37 and Draymond at 35? Is that really worth it when the alternative is to rebuild and to end things with Steph and end things with Draymond and go down the path of, okay, it's time for us to go down a new path here and build young again. This has run its course. Is it actually for the best to go with that old team? Like, is that actually the best thing for the Warriors to do? To me, it would be fun. I'd love to watch it. It would be incredibly exciting from a fan standpoint. I'd love to talk about it from a media standpoint. It would be incredible. Yeah. But if I'm a Warriors front office executive, I'd rather pull the plug on everything and start the rebuild at that point, to be honest with you.
Yeah, but there's also a Chase Center. You got to fill the seats. And
but you're not gonna fill the seats if all those guys retire on you and you have nothing for your future either. Like filling the seats, it means like thinking the next 10 years down the road as well. And I know you want Stephen Curry to be a lifer and like that, but he's gonna have a statue either way. He's gonna have a statue. But I'd also love an AJ DeBonsa statue too if my team like might struggle next year. Like I'd love that statue too. I'd love to set up the next 10 years. And that's where like sometimes you can hang on too long. But then maybe trading for LeBron would be doing that. Like, is that team really contending for a championship? It depends on everything else.
No, I think it's an admission that this is just like
that it's over.
It's over, but we're gonna do right by Steph because we haven't built the last couple of years a team, a roster that is commensurate with his abilities. And so it's almost like an apology, you know? I know that's weird to think like in a business sense, you don't do that. You're more cold-hearted than that. But I also think
but is doing right by him actually putting him in a position to win more championships? Isn't that really?
Sure. But again, like I said, what is the deal that puts him over the top? You know, maybe marketing helps.
What I mean. There is no deal. There is none. There's no deal. In all likelihood for Golden State, there's no deal that puts them over the top that allows Steph to contend for championships in all likelihood. And so is the best thing for Steph actually, from that business standpoint, to continue racking up more championships, building that legacy even more, putting himself in the GOAT conversation? Is that actually for his best? Maybe not. You could argue being a lifer in Golden State and playing it out, being one of the rare guys that plays his entire career with one team. Maybe that's for his best. I'm just presenting the counter argument that maybe the best for him is actually, you know what, I don't want to just linger on here and be a 500 team for the rest of my career when I'm still playing elite basketball.
Brandon Miller and LaMelo Ball for Steph. Bring him home. Bring him home, Kev. Bring him home, Seth.
How about this? How about this? Go to San Antonio.
Now we're talking. Talk about Team USA connections. Pop and Steph know each other. If you're Stephen Curry this offseason, would you rather play with LeBron James in Golden State or play the next 3, 4, 5 years with Victor Wembanyama in San Antonio? The Spurs are going to get a point guard at some point. It's not going to be Chris Paul forever.
So who's going to be that lucky point guard that gets to pair up with Victor Wembanyama as he continues to ascend and becomes a player that can help lead a championship team? If I'm Stephen Curry, maybe I want it to be me and win more titles in the twilight of my career, because I'm not so sure being in Golden State as a lifer is actually for the best for his entire legacy. You're already going to get a statue. You already did something that so few players in the history of basketball or in the history of sports have ever done. Being a lifer is like the nice cherry on top, but I want more titles, man. I want more rings. That's what it's about at the end of the day for like these great players when it comes to being top 10, top 5, top 3 all-time players. Those rings matter. They just do. I know it's rings culture. I know rings culture. It's like people hate it, but it does matter. It matters for Jokic. If he only ends up with 1, it matters when it comes to comparing him to like some of these all-time great players. If Steph continues racking them up, suddenly you're talking about him next to Jordan and now talking about him maybe above LeBron. He's got time left.
Steph for Steph? I want Castle next to Wemby for the rest, but like Steph for Steph?
I don't want to trade Castle if I'm the Spurs. He's
my
Iguodala. He's my Iguodala next to Steph and Wemby.
Okay. Well, then who are you going to trade that Golden State's going to say, yeah, I'll do that?
Keldon Johnson and picks.
Done.
Take it or leave it.
No. Oh no.
Oh man. It's fun to think about like these scenarios, man, because like NBA's proven expect the unexpected.
Exactly.
Right?
Dude, we would never have expected LeBron James to be playing with his son. There's no way. But then this is the NBA, and this is what happens. That LeBron James, like 10 years ago, we would never have imagined that LeBron James was going to break the scoring record, play with his son, and win a championship in LA for the Lakers. Never would have suspected it, and here we are. So I'm thinking, I mean, Chris Paul. So you're saying Chris Paul walks so that Steph Curry can run to another championship? And would Chris Paul finally be on that team so he can win a championship? Kev, please tell me yes.
Maybe keep Chris Paul as the backup point guard. I don't see why not. If CP3 wanted to stick around, why not?
Man, 40-year-old Steph, 40-year-old CP, like Big Vic is going to be working real hard defensively.
Oh, man. Oh, no, that'd be really difficult. But